Hey everyone, and we're back with The Way It Is show. Right now we have LV's moment. You know, he's the ladies' man, so I'm covering it for a second for him. And we have one concerned, loyal listener and viewer today. Dear Mr. LV, I have been faced with an issue that most people don't encounter on a daily basis, and I'm looking for some serious advice. My husband has had difficulty living a functional life this past year. He has been back and forth to and from the hospital due to heart problems and a medically induced coma. His medical bills have been and put the entire family into a debt that's almost impossible to recover from, with the income that I'm living on. Recently, the doctor has stated his condition has worsened and there's nothing else they can really do. Also stating that he has less than 30% of a chance coming out of his coma. As his wife, I make the decision whether to keep him on life support or to pull the plug. I have been battling back and forth with his family about whether to sign DNR, do not resuscitate papers, or not. I'm the only one who's been working, paying bills, taking care of our children, and sometimes staying at the hospital with him days at a time. His family feels I should sign the papers and make sure the doctors do whatever it takes to keep him alive. But I've prayed and come to peace that whatever happens will happen. I'm all cried out and don't want to see him suffer anymore. I'm ready for whenever God decides to come for my husband. As a Christian woman, I know God works in mysterious ways. So what would you do in a case like this? Sincerely, Charlotte Bazemore. That's a hard one, Miss Bazemore. I mean, I do believe that God works in mysterious ways, and maybe he will come in a mysterious way and help you pay for such items and such bills. But if you feel like you've prayed over this time period and really feel like you're at peace with the idea that, you know, it's his time to go, then maybe that's the best thing. If you honestly feel like you've prayed over a good amount of time and think that's the best way out. What do you guys think about it?
Well, this is, like I said, this is a real tough one. I recently went through, it wasn't my husband or anything, recently went through this with my grandfather passing. He was in ICU, he had the tubes down his throat, he had been fighting, he had fought to be a fight, he had been going back and forth. But it was, on his last day, it was me, my mom, and my aunt in the ICU. And this is their father. They have to make a decision to let go the person that raised them. So it really is a hard decision. And it wasn't until my grandfather actually coded 7 times in one day that we finally gave him to God. So honestly, the only thing I can really say with this is, continue to pray on it. And like I said, if you feel like you've prayed and you're at peace, just go ahead and, do not resuscitate if you feel like he's suffering, because that really is what they are doing, suffering, and every time they do have to bring him back, breaking of the ribs and all that, it's really traumatizing on the body. Yeah. So like I said, if you're at peace, sweetheart, like I said, God be with you. Like I said, I'll keep you in my prayers as well. Like I said, it wasn't, like I said, an easy decision for us, you know what I'm saying? So God be with you.
Well, let me tell you this: we all have to make our look for our maker, and everybody has a day where we're going to die. So sometimes we have to come to the acceptance to know that some people are going to die, and the people that you are around that you love are eventually going to die. Now, it states in your letter that you said that you guys have debt, so that lets me know that your Medicaid or your Medicare or your Obamacare is not working because you're probably poor. So I'm going to tell you this: you need to get yourself a life insurance agreement on your husband. I know it seems like difficulty to talk about subjects like this, but you have to do what you have to do. So when you have these bills, when he passes away, you're still going to have to deal with those bills. You're still going to have to deal with the issues of trying to pay and make sure your house is a home. So what I say for you is to get an insurance policy on him and just call it a day. Sit in the front row with your all black outfit on with your Louis Vuittons, because you'll be able to afford it and enjoy the ceremony of life.
He's ignorant. Actually, you can't get a life insurance policy on somebody that's in the ICU. That's retarded.
Oh, did not know that, but I say try.
Well, okay. Well, what I would say about the situation is, I also agree that, she's a God-fearing woman, and if she feels this in her heart and her soul, then just go ahead, pull the plug, and, allow God to do his work. But I also feel like it says in the letter, talking about how his family, I guess, disagrees with the decision that she may be feeling like. And a lot of times, this has happened in a lot of people's families where sometimes the family doesn't even do anything for the person, and then they have all the say on what to do in the situation. So I feel like maybe you should just go ahead and just ignore the family. I mean, let them know what the decision that you have made. But if you have it between you and God, and you've been in love with this man, and this is your husband, and you've been by his side, tell them to pay some of the bills. Tell them to help out, and tell them to stay there overnight and stuff like that if they want to keep him alive and see him suffer.
This subject to me it hits home, and every time I read it, I'm almost like I'm taking a flashback to when I had to go to Pennsylvania to see my grandmother go through this same thing, and it was very tough for her children because she had so many. So it was tough for everybody to agree on whether the do not resuscitate or allow her to live or pull the blood. It was difficult. One hand, you want that person to be at rest. You want to be at peace. You don't want to see them suffer. And the other thing, we become selfish as human beings and always want them around. Yeah. But I when I walked into that hospital room, I remember how I felt when I saw my grandmother laying there. And I even remember when she heard my voice, she got up, like I seen it. So it was like, okay, I actually had to tell her, Mom, it's okay for you to go. I'm okay now. And I had to live with that myself because it's definitely something that's difficult, especially when you love someone like that. Like my grandma was everything to me. So for me to have to experience that and just say, I'm okay, I had to be selfless. I had to take myself out of it.
I feel like death is upon us. So, and in the letter, it states that my husband had a difficulty living a functional life this past year. So I'm sorry if you take me as a harsh person or someone that is not sensitive to people. But if you knew that from the beginning, I'm going to already put the policy out there. I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to be left with anything.
Well, there's different strokes for different folks, and I feel like whatever that at that time she was also battling with his family, so that's definitely something. She's just a wife, but you have to worry. He is somebody's child.
Out there,
he's someone's brother, sister, uncle, is someone's dad. So it's a lot that goes into play of making those decisions, and that's why I said wherever you are, Charlotte, if you are at peace with it, that is up to you. If the family, you are the one with the financial burden and all of that, you make the decision. So this was definitely something that was.
Would you want somebody to put a plug on you? Yes or no?
Make that decision, then it would be all.
Yes or no?
I wouldn't want to suffer.
Yes or no?
Pull the plug.
Pull the plug. Get the coin.
Yeah, pull the plug.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this was definitely a touching.
Pray about it.
Touching letter. Charlotte, we're here with you. I will continue to pray for you, with you, and God heals everything. They said weeping endure for a night, but joy always come in the morning. And that's one thing you can remember. That's a guaranteed in life. Well, if you guys have any letters, please email us at thewayitisshow@gmail.com. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. Oh
yeah. Tell me what you wanna do. Baby, just be comfortable. I'll be right here next to you.
If there's a question of my heart, you got it. It don't belong to anyone but you. Hey, if there's a question.
Miss Charlotte, I would just like to personally apologize on behalf of me and the rest of the Way It Is show. Turf War was completely out of line for that sensitive subject. And I definitely know what you wouldn't be thinking about coins, Louis Vuittons, and your time of grievance. Please, like I said, pray on it. And like I said, I'm just offering my apology for his ignorance.